back to This Ain't Your Normal Podcast, starring me, Mike Holland, Nick Armstrong, and Pat Graziano. All right, Pat, start it off.
Oh, well, classic Pat right here. Sponsor, On Edge Performance, On Edge Productions. Go to the website. We have new codes. We still have the OG code, Pat1997. Nick, what is your code?
So my code will be Nick1998, $10 off. Is it $10?
15.
$15 off your next order. So, Mike, you got one too?
And mine is Mike1992, same thing, $15 off.
But remember, use my code first, and then you can use theirs after. And or you could use each one of our codes.
Yeah, just have 3 orders. Just
3
spend
different
them.
orders.
Yeah. That's actually a smart idea.
I would.
Yeah.
You can get $15 off 3 different things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Pat.
Yeah.
For once, Pat's a good idea. Just kidding.
I'm a genius.
He is a genius. When it comes to
am.
this stuff, he's a genius.
Albert Einstein.
And you guys are never in the same conversation.
It's Albert Einstein and then it's Pat.
Some people call Pat the reincarnated Albert.
Yeah.
Have you heard that?
I have never heard that.
I've heard numerous people in the comments too. A lot of Pat fans. A lot of people that think that you're big and handsome too. It's great. A lot of support for you.
Yeah. I love the support. Keep bringing it.
Mm.
And I do get compared to Albert Einstein. It's like, Albert Einstein, then Pat.
Okay, let's get off on today's topic. Go ahead, Pat.
Well, I do want to bring up something, like, for this week, like, I've been picking up golf. All right? I've been golfing 2 times in my life, and I'm a natural. I've been hitting fucking bombs, dude. Like, killing it. Short game's a little bit hard, but, dude,
That's
driving, I hit absolute nukes. And I know Nick's been golfing for a while, and I think I can outdrive him. I really do.
Yeah, I've been golfing ever since I was like 3. I've taken lessons, and I go once a week. But yeah, he keeps coming up to me in the gym saying, "Yo, Nick, like I can outdrive you. I'm hitting nukes. I'm hitting 300 yards plus all this stuff." I'm like, "All right, pal, let's go golfing." So I mean, I'm excited. It's not like a competition thing, but I want to see. Obviously, Pat's got the size, but see if his form is down so we can hit these
I
nukes.
swing like a baseball bat because I played baseball when I was younger, but and plus like the lat gets in the way, like I can't.
He's got big lats.
Yeah, the lats get in the way, so I can't
It's also hips.
swing
Got
through a
strong
hole
hips.
through. Yeah, I got some nice hips. What?
No.
I have nothing to say. I don't golf, so
Yeah,
I'm
I
okay
got
with
some great
that.
hips.
We want Mike to golf, but he's saying he doesn't golf.
I don't golf.
But he's never gone golfing.
I
So
golfed twice in my life. You can pick it up like that.
I don't like golf.
Okay,
No
I don't agree with
offense.
that. Golf's a lot harder than
No,
that.
it's pretty hard.
It's not my favorite.
I
sport.
agree with you. I think when you first start driving, it's obviously like the most fun, enjoyable thing because you
Yeah.
just want to hit a fucking bomb.
Yeah.
But also like the short game, putting.
Oh,
I
that's
think
hard.
I think like using like your pitching wedge, like, those are the hardest shots.
Oh
when you
yeah,
first start.
dude. I would be like on the course and I have the pitching wedge, and I'm just like focusing on hitting the ball correctly, and I'll fucking ascend it. And I'm like, fuck, that's not what I wanted to
Well,
do.
it's hard because like when you're using certain irons and certain clubs, you're like, oh, I need to hit this at 70%. Where when you're using a
Yeah,
driver, you're just
I
like
don't know how to do
100%.
that.
Just
Yeah.
I'm not. But when you start need to use different clubs,
Yeah.
and different percentages of your
Makes
power,
no sense.
it
I'll be
becomes a
trying to
lot more
swing like
difficult.
25%, and I'll freaking hit it like so far. I'm like, no, like you get perfect contact. It's like, and then like you get shit contact, and you swing harder, and you like top the ball, and it goes like, it just like drive, and it's just like dribbles.
Yeah,
But golf's fun. I actually do enjoy it.
it is a lot of fun. It's
So,
relaxing.
Yeah.
It can be stressful, but the way I play is like I want to score good, but if I can get like one beautiful shot,
Oh yeah,
like
I'm
I'll be
just here
happy
to
with
just
that.
get some good shots in.
Yeah.
Whip that golf cart. Yeah.
The golf cart makes it fun too.
Yeah, you can drive the golf cart.
You can be our caddy.
Yeah.
I don't golf.
No,
So,
you
drive
can
the car.
caddy.
You can
I
drive
don't
the car.
caddy either.
You can
so-
drive the cart. We could go fishing. I know you fish.
I can picture him
I
with a
do
top
fish.
hat saying, "Your ride is here."
Yeah.
You can.
He didn't
Yeah,
like
Mike
that.
just pulls up. Hey, Mike, come on. Me and Nick comes with a cattle. Wait, a cattle or
Our
what is it?
golf
Clubs.
bag?
No,
Or-
what's a bug? Bags.
There's a golf bag.
Is it just bag?
Yeah, I don't think there's a name for it.
No, I think there's something.
Like you're a caddy if you hold someone's
Didn't you even
bag.
have a name?
I think I don't.
Can we call it a bug?
No.
What is?
It's a bag.
No,
on
he's
the
bouncing.
back.
He's
Why are you
trying to-
bouncing?
he's
That's
trying
like-
to
they
bounce.
are
It's,
clubs
it's
bouncing?
me walking.
to the golf cart that Mike's driving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it. Yep. And then Mike's also like I also want to go fishing.
I love fishing.
I do like fishing. I do fish.
We can agree on fishing.
Yeah.
We can go fishing as a group.
I ain't going at like 5 a.m. stuff.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
The earliest I go is 7.
That's still very
Yeah.
early.
Oh, my fault. Y'all just need to wake up earlier.
Well, I'm not like. Are you like an avid fisher?
No.
Okay.
Well, you guys, I think we talked about, but I'm a night person, so like I don't want to wake up early, especially when you wake up like during the week, always early. But I'll wait. I woke up at like for golf. I'll wake up early, like 8 a.m.
Oh, I usually go like 11. I mean, it depends. Like, I usually go with my dad and brother, but just it depends on their schedule. But I'm also a night person. Like, on the weekends, I'll usually wake up at like 10, 11.
Yeah. I don't get energy until like afternoon.
Yeah. I agree. I also don't drink caffeine until the afternoon. I don't drink in the morning, which makes me just like a little more sluggish.
Yeah.
Once like 4 comes around, I start drinking caffeine. I'm like, come to life.
Yeah, I drink caffeine throughout the day. I need to.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
A lot of on edge.
Yeah. Well, you know, with jobs, I do a lot of talking, so I have to have the energy, or they don't get listened to you. So.
That's fair.
And yeah, and also today I almost hit a biker.
Because you're like falling asleep at the wheel, or just...
No, that motherfucker just came out of nowhere. I was like, holy
Dude, I hate
fuck.
bikers.
Dude,
I'm not
bikers are
gonna lie.
insane. Like, dude, I'm like, this guy just doesn't even give a fuck. He just goes. I'm like, where the fuck did this guy come from?
I
I was
feel
taking
like-
a left, and I was like, what?
It's so weird. I feel like bikers think that they own the streets. Like, they'll do whatever they want. Like, they don't care. And they're like, oh, I'm a biker, I'm a pedestrian. You need to accommodate for where I am.
Dude, fuck.
And I'm just like, no. I'm driving fast. You're just like taking up too much space in the road.
Have you guys, like, I think every person in their life almost hit a biker before.
I've almost hit a biker. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have a vivid memory in Boston.
Well, they
Almost
come
hit
out
a
of
biker.
nowhere.
They do.
They just whip it.
Yeah.
Like one of those little, like, one of those, like, scooters.
Those are so popular now,
Yeah.
especially in the city. The
Yeah.
motorized scooters, people have electric skateboards,
Mm-hmm.
which is good. I mean, less people on the street, but at the same time, like, they just, like, it's kind of hard to drive around them sometimes,
Yeah.
accommodate for them. But yeah, cool. Golf. Maybe some golf content. Me and Pat are getting into it, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit bombs, nukes.
So yeah, just a little,
Right.
yeah. So we've been golfing. What have you been up to?
I've been playing basketball a lot, so that's what I've usually been doing lately.
Mhm.
And then work. That's pretty much it. Nothing.
All right, so some introductions, just like, I feel like we haven't made one in a while, so just talking about what we've been doing. But the topic of today's podcast is, you know, bring it back to the gym. I feel like we always talk about the gym, but, you know, it's a space that we all share, that we all really love. But, I mean, we were all talking today about reaching goals in the gym and what it takes to reach your goals. And, you know, we're all, like, at this point, like, veterans, intermediate, advanced lifters, so we kind of know what it takes. If you set a goal, like, how to reach there, especially if you have, like, high goals, that you want to bench this way a certain amount, or
Look
get a
this
certain
way.
physique, yeah. But, you know, a lot of people when they first begin, I feel like, don't always understand, like, the dedication, the hard work, what it takes to reach those goals. So I just thought it'd be an interesting conversation to have about, you know,
Yeah.
from our experience.
Yeah, I think a lot of things is people just go in the gym to do what they want to do, like how they don't really have a structure or a pattern. Like, oh my, like they'll get sore and it's like, oh my legs are sore, I'm gonna skip squatting today when it's squat day, and then you know you put that off. You haven't squatted in 2 weeks, you don't get the benefits, and you just avoid it, even though you don't like it. You still gotta do it for the benefits. And if you want to get stronger, if you're like, oh, why is my leg so small? Well, you probably should squat more.
Just progressive overload. After a certain amount of time, you can't get away with just going in there with no plan. You need to implement progressive overload, start pushing yourself harder, especially if you have these like certain goals you want to hit. Because after a while, if you're doing the same thing day in and out, you're just gonna stay where you are.
Well, it's also like, you know, you're not looking forward to doing squats one day, right? Or deadlifting, but it's back day or it's leg day. You're going to have to do it. You got to have the discipline to, you know, just like, you know, you don't feel like doing it, you feel like benching or whatever, or, you know, you've been having more fun benching. You still have to do other exercises to reach the benefit of, you know, your full potential at the gym. Because you don't want to be just, you know, sporadic. You need a plan and consistency. Everyone have plans and consistency, and they're doing. That's how they reach their goals. If they're just going to the gym and doing whatever they want each day, oh, today's gonna be arm day. Today's gonna be leg day. Oh, wait, I want to do arms again. Today's gonna be arm day again. You're just not gonna grow that much. Your progress is gonna stall compared to a guy who has a consistent plan over the long haul. And then that's where you can allow yourself to put progressive overload in as well.
Absolutely. And also, if you know, I get it, like, chest day is, like, typically the most enjoyable day for most people.
Yeah, for men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, if it's leg day and you really hate leg days, and, You know, if you go in with that mindset like, oh, I hate leg day, like, I don't want to do leg day, you're either gonna skip it, or even if you do hit it, you're gonna hit, you know, the most like relaxed leg day, not push yourself super hard because you're manifesting that bad energy for that specific day.
Exactly.
If you go into it excited, even if you're not, like, if you trick yourself, like, you're gonna hit it a lot harder.
Yeah.
And if you go in there like, oh, I don't want to be here, I don't want to do this, like, I just want to hit chest, like, you're not gonna be in it. You're not gonna be in that workout. Like, maybe you'll still do your squats, but maybe all of a sudden you're doing like 225 for reps when you could be doing like 275. But just like you're not there.
Off, yeah.
You're slacking off, and
The same thing goes for women. Like, you know, legs are huge and stuff like that. You know, doing that constantly, but you still should be doing your upper body. It's very important, especially your upper back and stuff like that. But those muscles are extremely important in the long haul. You need your shoulders healthy and stuff like that. So, just to be well balanced in every area, but just, you know, obviously you can prioritize things differently, but you should be hitting each group at least.
one of our buddies at the gym, Stevie, he was telling me today that he's prioritizing push right now, so he's benching every other day. What's your thoughts? He said he's benching like 3 to 4 times a week. What's your thoughts on that?
4 times is a lot. It is. 3 times when I first started, I did that. I was, you know, one of those guys always doing chest. I did legs, but, you know, deadlift I didn't do at all. With back, didn't do back at all. Like upper back, no, I didn't do that at all. And, you know, it probably cost me a lot of development, quick development, because eventually I plateaued on bench because my upper back wasn't strong enough to, you know, give it a stable pressing platform to push off of. So it just held me back for probably like 6 months. I was stuck at like a weight, and I was like, why am I not? Well, because my upper back was weak as hell.
Yeah, guys, bench doesn't just use your chest. There's a lot of muscles, back, even legs, depending if you're using leg drive, shoulders, triceps.
So I had to, you know, also picked up deadlifting, learning how to brace and form that. This technique, because there's a certain way, like you can pull heavy weight, but you eventually your CNS system burns out.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be able to constantly hit PRs or 550. Like, you can use your back. One, you're making it, you know, you're flirting with danger with that. You know, just throwing out your back, you know, slipping a disc. I know a lot of people who deadlifted slipped their disc because they weren't doing it right. They didn't know how to brace. I definitely got to a point where my back was just not that great. So once I learned how to brace, the technique, I was in safe. My form got a lot better, and then I took off. I gained so much strength, and it felt, I don't feel it in my back at all. Now I'm using the right groups better than the wrong groups, and then you get more benefit out of that. That's why your glutes gotta get bigger, or your hamstrings, your quads, and stuff like that. Now you're not pulling with your spine, you're pulling with the correct muscle groups.
Mike, how do you structure your workouts? Is there a day you don't like? Do you do it off feel, or is it like Wednesday's chest, Thursday's arms? Like, what do you do for that?
So I do like a 3 type of workout. Doesn't matter what type of day it is. Like, I always try to get chest, arms, and legs in throughout the week. So last time I went to the gym was on Friday. I did legs. So I haven't gone to the gym today. Won't go tomorrow. So Monday I'm just gonna start doing chest, and then Tuesday will be arms, and then the next time I get to go to the gym will probably be Thursday, which will be legs. And that's how I usually do it.
Yeah.
There's like no like set day, like, oh, today's leg day, arm day, because I don't get to the gym as much as I want to, and there's always something going on in my life that just prevents me from going from the gym. So I just try to make sure make sure I hit every single muscle group. It doesn't matter what day it is.
Yeah. Do you have a day you prefer? Like, is there a day that you're extra excited about hitting?
Probably chest. Yeah, legs aren't my favorite. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but I still do them. Like when I was there on Friday, I was talking to another friend. His name just happens to be Pat, and you guys both know who he is. Yep. Me and him were talking about like, it's a leg day for us, and we both hate it, but we're still gonna do it anyway. Like I'm still pushing myself, trying to up my weight on the squat rack, whatever you call it, and stuff like that. So I'm still trying to do that, but other than that, like, yeah. I try to make sure I hit every group, doesn't matter what day it is, or actually whenever I get to go to the gym.
So would you say because you like chest more, do you find yourself more into the workout, more motivated during a chest day versus a leg day?
Honestly, sometimes I'd be feeling the same exact way as I do for both of them. Like, there'll be days when I don't feel like going to the gym, period. We already talked about that, and you're still pushing yourself. Like, I think the last chest day, I didn't want to be at the gym at all. I was exhausted, tired. I was just like, I don't even want to be here. Like, but you just got to push yourself. Like, I still made myself go because okay, if I don't go today, then it'll be like 4 days in a row. When the other 3 days I actually had a real excuse on why I couldn't go, but I can actually go today, so I should be there.
I do like that question, Nick, because I do train with a couple of my buddies. I help them a lot, and it's easy to see that they're way more motivated when they're doing chest day. Bench day, they go a lot harder than they would do back day. Well, upper back, but like lower back, bottom, like hamstrings, legs, same thing. They're not as motivated. They don't go as hard. It's just because they enjoy the progress of the bench and chest because it's an easier movement for them compared to a squat or a deadlift. And you don't have to deadlift. Deadlift is just one exercise, but you still should be doing but you still should be loading your lower body, using your core, doing your upper back, and doing your chest and stuff like that. So you need to break that up, but it's not like deadlift or not. But like you gotta do exercises that will, variation of a deadlift so you can get the benefits of it. So it's not like you're loading your spine, but you're loading your glutes, your hamstrings, stuff like that. You're still doing your core work. So from my experience, with most people I work with, chest day they go a lot harder and even arm day they'll go a lot harder than doing legs or back.
Let's say you're coming home from work, you're super tired. And let's say you're someone that likes leg day. Like, it's not a problem for you, but you're super tired, you're exhausted.
Leg day's fun.
Leg day's fun for you?
Get those quads popping, dude.
Chubby
season.
It's always chubby season for Pat.
It's never chubby season.
We gotta wear our chubbies next episode.
Y'all
Show them.
got to. I don't got.
You
I
can
don't
borrow one
own
of my pair.
I don't think we're the same size.
No, probably not.
Hold
But sorry, what I was saying is just, if you are going into a session and you know it's going to be bad, and you already don't like the muscle group, would you rather just skip the day and be like, I'll hit it hard tomorrow? Or are you still saying, nope, I'm going in there and I'm going to make the best of it?
Yeah.
I'd rather go and have a bad workout than just not show up at all.
Yeah.
Right, I agree.
Yeah. Usually you just have to dial it back because honestly, you giving an extra day just throwing off your whole program, and it's probably not going to be as much better. Yeah, it's usually an energy thing or stuff like that. Sometimes it's like once in a while that's fine to do, but if you constantly do that, it's going to build a bad habit, and you're going to be constantly pushing off things. So there's some days it's got to, it's usually an energy factor, and you're tired, so you just have to dial back the weight. But you still can get better and stronger. You just can't do as much weight as you can when you're fully recovered or have full energy.
And sorry, I don't mean to cut you off right there, but I want to go with Pat. Like, I also believe, like, when you start doing the workout, at least for me, even though I don't feel like going to the gym, I actually feel, like, energized and, like, I feel better about myself because, like, okay, I actually did something. Exactly. I pushed through it. I was productive. I'm just like, okay, this actually feels great. I don't know why I was complaining that I didn't want to come to the gym today, but,
I feel that happens a lot with me in leg day, where I'll go into it, and I'll try my best to have the best mindset going into the gym. But I'll admit, like, I do like chest. I like every other muscle more than legs. I still hit my legs. I still enjoy it. But not the same
Tom
level.
loves your quads, dude.
Right. Our friend Tom, for those who haven't seen the last episode,
the
last podcast, Nick's quads were talked a lot.
Yes, they were.
So you're doing something right.
Yeah. But, no, I mean, I still really enjoy leg day. I'm just saying not as much. Like, I'm not as excited. It's harder for me to get excited for leg day than it is chest.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is... What was I going to say? Oh, so if you're going there, you know you're not going to have the best workout. And let's say you're squatting. If you know your max is 225 or something, and you go in there like, I can only do 185, in my opinion, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Your like range, like just because your all-time is a certain number, if you're doing like 185, that could be like your max for that day.
Yeah.
Just because you hit 225 when you're fully energized, fully hydrated, fully like fueled, whatever it may be, that doesn't mean like on a bad day where you don't have all these great conditions, like your max for that day could be 185, and that's fine. And you can make the same exact progression, because under those circumstances, you could still be pushing yourself at like 100% exertion at that current condition you're in. So I think a lot of times, like for me, and it's from past experience and also talking to other people, they'll have a bad day and they'll be really discouraged of like, oh, like, I wasn't trying to go to the gym and I went there and I had like such a bad workout. And a lot of times it's not as bad as you actually think. It's just given the conditions, you actually had a good workout. Just you're comparing it to a workout or a day where you might have the most ideal circumstances.
Dude,
Exactly.
there was days where I just don't want to do an exercise, but I'll do it. And after I do it, I just feel like Mike brought up so much better. So much better because I pushed through it. and I was able to get better. And it really was just me psyching myself out, being lazy, or me being, just, a little bit of, a bitch. Kind of. Just
Your words,
telling
not mine. Your words,
No,
not
I'm calling
mine.
myself. I can, like, psych myself out.
I know. I'm just letting you know.
You're Big Pat. What are you talking about?
Yeah. But no, it's like, oh, dude, I don't feel that great.
Right.
I'm not gonna be able to pull this weight today. I'm tired or whatever. But then you still gotta be able to do your workout. It's the plan. That's where you get the growth long term. You're never gonna be full with 100% each time you're in the gym. That's maybe like once every time you'll be 100%. You're not gonna be there 100% each time you go. And especially when life, as you get older, there's more things in life. Especially when you have kids, jobs, multiple jobs. That can get away and it pulls.
Jobs.
Yeah.
And he works a lot.
Yeah. And then it pulls. It makes going to the gym a little bit harder, and your workouts harder because you don't have as much energy because you're doing more things throughout the day. So that means you have to, adjust your recovery, eat more throughout the day, stuff like that. But that you still can get a good workout and get benefit from it. So when you are 100%, you PR. That's how you PR.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, you tired?
Yeah, I've been up super early
Yeah,
today.
you were up today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But also, this reminds me of a shirt that I made. Adversity is where your story begins. That's perfect for this topic because, there's going to be days in life, the gym, where, adversity is going to strike. You might be having a bad day throughout work. Everything's going to hell. You're tired. You don't feel like doing this. That's like the challenge. Adversity. That's a little bit of a challenge. Are you going to let that crumble you, or are you going to just go through it and overcome that adversity? And constantly doing that will, not only in the gym, but in other aspects of your life, will help you get better in the long term, better than crumbling. So if you go on the website, use code PAT1997 and not their code, and buy the shirt, because I made the shirt. But no.
You should support all of us, man.
No,
Right.
I might. No, just kidding. Do whatever you want.
I also want to mention, like, this is, like, kind of related, but with that whole thing is, like, even when you're weight training, like, you're supposed to be training hard. Those last couple of reps, when the adversity starts,
Yeah. The challenge.
that's when it actually starts working your muscle. If you do, like, an exercise, you do 10 reps, and you could have done 15 more, like, max exertion, you're probably not going to grow at all.
Dude, you know what?
Because it needs to be hard. There needs to be stimulus. So, like, the adversity doesn't actually start when you're lifting a weight until, like, it starts getting difficult. And I just see people all the time stopping. And just, like, kind of, like, talking back to our initial topic of reaching your goals, what it takes to get there. It's like, working out should be difficult,
The thing about me, right? And I don't know if I think it's a lot of people too, but I love failing when it comes to that. And for me, failing is my greatest motivating factor. It's like, you gotta wake up. You gotta get going. You can't be walking through the motion. You gotta get better. Like, failure will humble you real quick, and that's where, like, okay, I gotta get better now, or it's like I gotta pick it up, or be better. So for me, the biggest motivating factor for me is failing. If you fail at something, that means you put the effort in, but it's gives you that, like, competitive, I don't know, itch. It's a competitive itch. It's like, oh, I'm not able to do this. I want to do this, and then that I get more motivation from that than succeeding.
Yeah, because I feel like it's easy to get complacent. Like, oh, I did it right, great. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But if you fail, it's like, oh, like, it's like I'm pushing myself to a point where I need to keep working on it, and it gives you that motivation.
Yeah.
Or it's like, I'm not ready for this. Like, I need to do more things to get to this point, so I don't fail again.
Yeah, it just gets that competitive thing. It's like, I want to.
Well, it's funny that you said fail because I like to use fail, and I forget how I learned this. I think I saw it on something where someone told me, but like they use it as an acronym. So it'll be you write the word fail, and then it'll be like F will be first attempt in learning. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First attempt in learning. I don't remember what it was. I had it in my head, but yeah, I kind of like that the whole failing thing because you are learning how to do something new for the very first time, so it's all right to fail, but you just gotta keep going and gotta keep pushing yourself, and eventually you'll master it or achieve it or whatever you want to call it, and then you move on to the next thing.
Yeah. And in the gym, you should always be failing. Like, if you're going for a 1-rep max and you fail, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, within reason, like, don't just throw on 7 plates in the bar or whatever. But, like, within reason, if you fail, it shows that you're pushing yourself. You are trying to get better.
Right?
Yeah, Pat throw on 7 plates.
Nah, dude.
at
I'm
least.
great. Nah, dude. Like, some people actually do that. Like, it's like food, right? They're like, oh, I'm really hungry right now. I'm gonna have like 5 plates of food. I think I had this analogy before, and I eat 4, duh. But it's just like people do that with the weight too, right? They're like, well, dude, I did 400 pounds like that easy. Let me throw fucking 500 on. No, go up like 10 pounds or 15. Like 10 pounds is a huge difference.
It is
like,
a huge
try to do
difference.
415 or something like that, and slowly build on that. Don't just jump.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless you really have a program that you've been consistently, like you're doing a peak phase, like if you're training for powerlifting, that's a whole different scenario. Because they're trying to peak for that. So they probably can do like 50 pounds more than what their really training volume is. But they're doing a lot more volume. So it's a little different.
You might know who I'm talking about, but there's someone in the gym who was deadlifting, and then they hit like 455, and it was like really easy. And they told me like, oh, I'm doing 500 next session. I'm like, why don't you do something in between? Like, isn't your PR 455? He's like, yeah, it's 455, but I want to do 500. I was like, why don't you just do like 465, 470? Like, that's still a PR. Like, you're
Right.
like, why are you trying to expedite the process so much? Like, yeah, your goal might be 500, but you're not there yet.
Yeah,
but you
it
can get
depends how
something
it
below
moves,
that.
right? And you
Right.
gotta look at how it moves. Was that 450 an RP of 10 or an RP of 8, RP of 9? Because if it is like really a struggle, you're not getting 5 plays. You could try it next session. That's great. You might budget a little bit, but you're not gonna get as much benefit that
Right.
adding 10 pounds is succeeding on
Well,
that.
I just feel like people are just skipping steps, and that's what it is. There's so many different
Oh,
steps. Like they're
all
like,
the
like
time.
we're saying, there's the beginning and then there's the finish line, but they're forgetting the in between that needs to be done to get to that finish line. So when I see people do stuff like that, I'm just like, y'all just gonna mess yourselves up
Yeah.
in the long run. Like you keep saying, like you're. I don't know. It's just like it's just crazy. And I'm not even like a big like gym body guy. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but
Like
it's basketball too.
right, basketball
Yeah.
too. So I do know some stuff about like you have to take steps in order to achieve your goal, and if you skip those steps, you're just basically you're skipping out on yourself. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I mean, you're not proving nothing to me.
You're trying to make a leap that's not possible. So you're just going to be
Exactly.
staying in the same place.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing also is like the little stuff, like that matters more than anything. Doing the little things, doing things you don't want to do. Those little decisions
Right.
at the gym. It's like, oh, I don't feel like doing pull-ups today. I don't feel like, oh, freaking, I'm so tired after I benched. I'm gonna skip half my workout because I'm tired.
Oh,
No, those
I've been
little,
thinking that all the time,
but those
though.
little things, yeah, everyone thinks it. Yeah, but
It's
you
like,
push
this was
through
enough
it.
for
Yeah,
today.
there's always something like, no, but there's like those little things like do matter in the long run because they add up. Like, this Friday, I squatted, no belt, stuff like that. My back was a little bit tired, sore. I could have just been like, oh, I'll recover. Like, it still was fine. It was fine. But I was just like, the weight wasn't moving as good just because it was a little bit tired because of my squat session on Wednesday. I could have just gave up and be like, fuck this. Let me do upper back. Get the fuck out of here. No, I deadlifted. Did the best I could. Was able to do pretty decent weight and actually got better as I went along. And then I was able to, have a good session and then do upper back and then get everything to help me reach my goal in the long run, right?
Yeah.
And those little steps, even like warming up, mobility-wise, ankle mobility-wise, getting your glutes firing, those little things do matter. You take that off. I was watching a podcast with Travis Kelce. This man on my fantasy team, but hey, let's go. But he got hurt week 1. Did not play. I lost fantasy week 1 because of him. But no, what he was, it was a cool thing because an athlete like that, right? He was like, well, I got hurt that day is because I was walking through the motions. I skipped some of the warm-up exercises that I usually do, getting the glutes firing. He didn't do some, I can't remember what it was, like wall sits or something to fire up his glutes. He didn't do that exercise. He went on a route, jammed his knee in the ground, hyperextended it, and it was 2 days before the game. He missed it because he slacked off a little bit. He didn't do the little things. That little things led to a bigger problem.
Yeah.
That's why it's like when you're deadlifting, it's like, yeah, I want to hit the heavy ass weight too. I want to pull PRs each session too. But you got to do the little things like bracing, stacking your lats, packing your upper back, putting yourself in a great form to succeed your goals, right?
I love
know
that.
when you brace, I'm a huge bracer, but if you're not going to take the time to learn how to brace, you're not going to reach your full potential.
Right.
Because now you're not using the same goals.
That'd be a great shirt for yourself.
Yeah, brace.
No, just like brace yourself, PG.
Yeah, brace yourself.
Because like the people will get
Tom,
it.
you hear that?
Brace yourself.
Yeah. Next shirt, brace yourself.
Make that this ain't your normal podcast shirt because we just all
Yeah.
are here for that.
But I do think it's really important. I think a lot of videos I'll watch where, like, even if you're young, if you're in high school, like, yeah, you want to pull 500 pounds as quick as possible. But I'm telling you, if you learn how to brace, you'll be pulling more and at a quicker rate.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there was someone at the gym who wasn't bracing at all. Their max was like 280. I taught them how to brace. Their squat went up like 40 pounds in like 2 weeks.
And now you're safe.
And now you're safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No.
Now you're actually working.
God.
Now you're working the muscle groups that you're supposed to better than your spine.
People that don't brace and watch them squat and deadlift is scary.
Yeah.
I cannot watch.
Well, I was
their
there.
spine is going
I did
like
that. Like, I did that.
Yeah, we all did
Yeah.
that.
But you got, like,
I don't know if I did that.
yeah, you don't. Yeah,
He's Magic Mike.
Yeah,
Like, he's
he's
perfect.
But no, I just like, obviously
I don't deadlift.
That's why you can't, I try to give advice and try to tell them, like, what's the point, or at least what I would have done if I was talking to myself when I was 17 or 18. I definitely did the exact same thing these 17 or high schoolers did. I just, egoed everything, pushed as hard as I could. I was like, I'm chasing this number, and I'm not going to stop until I get it. It doesn't matter how my form looks, stuff like that. Like, I'll cat around my back. But in the long run, I didn't get the benefits of, learning how to do the exercise correctly. Because I'm just pulling with my spine, so I just willed that motherfucker up. I'm not really working my muscles.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, we talked about this in a previous podcast, especially when you're beginning to start lifting or if you're just younger. I feel like you just go through that period of time where it's like you're not listening to anyone. And like, when you're younger, you can get away with it a little bit more.
Oh, 100%.
I feel like it sucks, but like once you get like that first little tweak, that first little injury, as you're getting older, like you'll be 19, 20, 21, and you'll be like, ooh.
Yeah, the worst thing you get, like, ooh.
And all of a sudden you're like, maybe I should be, a little more methodical.
Yeah, it's my back sore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're doing an exercise, especially when it comes to squatting, deadlifting, or any exercise, benching, stuff like that, and you feel pain, you're probably doing it wrong. There's somewhere in your technique is going wrong that's causing that pain, and you have to, backwards engineering it to see which is going on. For me, for the longest time, I had back pain when I was squatting. That thing was firing. You'd burn. I was like, and then I'm looking at videos like, why is my back hurting when I'm squatting? Isn't it legs? And then I was like, oh, you're not bracing. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, how do I do that? And then I learned how to do that. Back pain went away. And then I started getting the performance and the growth in other areas that I learned better than just willing it. Because now I'm engaging the right groups.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I got more. Like, I was able to lift more just from pure will, but I wasn't as dense, strong muscle growth as doing the exercise correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, I hate to stop this conversation now, but we only got like 4 minutes left of camera time, so let's all just go around and say one thing that we'd recommend of how to reach your goals. Like, what is the number one piece of advice if someone has a goal, they're just starting off, or even if they're more veteran and they're plateauing or they're having a harder time? Like, what would you recommend?
Yes. Me, definitely brace. Obviously.
That's his one recommendation.
Obviously.
Any exercise,
Word for today.
brace.
No,
Brace.
when it comes to that, but also foam roll, work on your mobility, and learn how to do the exercise correctly.
So form and recovery is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
recovery, and learn how to do whatever exercise you're doing. Doesn't have to, if you're training for aesthetics, CrossFit, snatches, learn how to do it correctly. Just learn how to do it, learn how to do each thing, and, get as more efficient as possible. And then in the long run, the strength gains will come faster than just doing a PR or trying to PR that set.
Absolutely.
Just adding 5 pounds, it's like, do it correctly, and you'll get more benefit.
Right. I would like to say probably just being consistent. Like, go to the gym every day or as much as possible. That's how you're going to get better. That's how you're going to get stronger. You're going to get the end results that you want.
Yep.
I second what both you have to say, but also just like be patient. Like, we want to reach our goals, like we were saying, as soon as we can. But at the same time, like, even when you reach your goal, you're gonna set a new one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a never-ending process. Like, you can
Right.
be proud, but you're never gonna be satisfied with what
No.
you get. So just know that it's not a race. It's not even a marathon. It's a
It's not.
endless loop.
Competition
progress.
is yourself.
Yeah, that is the only competition.
So just stay consistent. If you want longevity, prioritize, form, stretching, things like that. Stay consistent, and you will reach your goals. It just you
Probably
need to
faster.
you need to control
Mhm.
all these variables, and stay disciplined. Like, there's a lot, like, you can reach what you want, but again, like, don't try to expedite that process. Enjoy it, fall in love with it, and that will make it a lot more sustainable. And then it's just time.
You get hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going backwards. Because no matter what, you're not going to be able to do. But now you're injured, so that's going to take time from your total recovery or your total progress. Because now you're working backwards, and now you have to go back up. And you're trying to prevent injuries so you can, constantly improve too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably the most important thing is preventing injuries.
Mm.
Because you don't want to fucking destroy your back or shoulders or even knees.
Any body part.
Yeah.
No, you want to be. You don't want to destroy anything on
Yeah.
your body. I would agree with that.
So the injuries are fucking. That sucks. I hate injuries so much.
Yeah, train for longevity.
Yeah.
Like honestly, if you can train, what would you rather do? Train for a year super hard, but then you break everything, or train for 20
It
years?
sucks.
Like you're gonna get a lot more progress after 20 years of consistent well training
It's just
versus
pain, dude.
Yeah.
Getting injured is like, oh, you can't do what you want to do, and you can't
It's the
go
worst
as
thing
hard.
ever.
It just sucks.
I mean, you have your ankle right now, and
Yeah.
I know Pat hurt his ankle, so some of his training he's had to make adjustments, and I get it. Like it's when you have an injury, like it sucks.
And I also had a
And yours
back-
wasn't even like sports related.
Yeah. And I also had a back injuries from a different, but that'll be a whole different podcast. Maybe.
Yeah, we can talk about injuries.
Yeah.
I have like a wrist thing.
Yeah.
That's like
Shoulder,
in my shoulder.
Yeah.
Anything with you, Mike?
No.
his face.
Magic Mike. Perfect Mike.
I don't have that many injuries.
Nah, dude,
I mean-
his shoulder bothers him.
Okay.
My shoulder does not bother me.
It does. I see it when he benches. He's like, ah.
Well, again, another
That is
conversation.
not me, but yeah, we'll
Yeah, he doesn't
do.
make that phase.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't make the face.
I don't grab
Obviously,
my
this
shoulder
is my beautiful
either.
face, and
I
that's
don't-
his face.
You about to call me beautiful?
No,
you
no,
right?
no, I never said beautiful.
You were about to though.
Oh, no.
You s-
No.
Any last words? Any last words, guys?
Oh
mid.
no. I have no last words.
All right. Want to
All right.
close this out?
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys benefited from our talks and maybe learn something. Keep getting after it, and thanks for watching, dude. And keep following us, keep subscribing, keep hitting the notifications,
Go, Pat.
and hit the like button. Anything
And
else?
use code Nick1998.
Use code PAT1997.
Leave in the comments your goals if you're struggling with them, whatever it may be. Just leave a comment, and we're gonna help you out. All right.
See you guys.
Douche.
Douche.
Wonderful.